we're definitely not quickest, and in the cooler conditions we're looking good, but once they got warmer, it's not the case.
Get ready for a roller coaster of emotions because Mercedes is going through a phase that's leaving everyone on edge. Just imagine, Russell out in Q1, Hamilton wrestling with the car like it's a raging bull, and Toto Wolff fuming with anger. But hold on, not all is lost. Our boy Hamilton still has that sparkle in his eyes, aiming for the podium like a true champion. Want to know how this story unfolds and if Mercedes can make a comeback? Stick with us in this video because we're going to break down every single detail. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the wild F1 season. Alright, let's dive headfirst into this story. Just imagine the scene. George Russell, the driver who's usually always in the fight, suddenly finds himself out in Q1 at the Hungarian GP. It sounds like a horror movie, right? But that's exactly what happened. The situation was so tense that Russell himself said, "Sorry for this session, guys," on the radio. But hold on, the story doesn't end there. When he got out of the car, reality really hit. He realized he had taken it easy on the first lap, right at the beginning of Q1, wasting that magical moment of maximum track grip. But don't think Russell stayed quiet. He spoke up. "We need to have a serious conversation as a team to understand what's happening. We have the car to fight for the top 3, we shouldn't be out in Q1. Wow, the tension is high. And speaking of heat, let's see how our star Hamilton is dealing with this temperamental Mercedes car. Because, my friends, the situation is heating up. If you thought Russell was the only one sweating, brace yourselves for this. The 7-time champion is having to tame a beast called the new generation car, and it's no easy task. Imagine Hamilton, the guy who makes corners look like straight lines, saying, "I hate this. This is not my type of car to drive. I find it really frustrating." Yeah, folks, even the greatest sometimes hit bumps in the road. The situation is so serious that Hamilton is trying to adapt to a whole new rhythm. He even admitted that these new cars are harder to control and don't match his natural driving style at all. It's like giving a pianist a guitar. And it doesn't stop there. In the third free practice session at the Hungarian GP, people were shocked to see Hamilton finish 10th after a qualifying simulation that was just pitiful. To make matters worse, he even spun out at turn 9. It looked like the car was trying to dance a waltz while Hamilton was trying to play rock and roll. But hold on, folks, our hero doesn't give up that easily. Despite all these challenges, Hamilton still has his eyes on the podium. How does he plan to make this magic happen? Let's find out. Hey folks, did you think Hamilton was going to throw in the towel? Not a chance. Our champion might be dealing with a more rebellious car, but he still has that champion sparkle in his eyes. Imagine this. After almost being knocked out in Q2 by a hair, or rather by 1/100th of a second, Hamilton is still optimistic. He's aiming for nothing less than the podium, folks, that's right. He knows that Mercedes isn't exactly a rocket ship when the heat is on, but that's not stopping him from dreaming big. Now, you might be wondering, but how, dude? The car is giving him a hard time. Well, my friends, that's where Hamilton's magic comes in. He's like that friend who always finds a way, you know? And check this out. Despite all these challenges, Hamilton still managed a good time and will start 5th on the grid. As they say, where there's Hamilton, there's hope. But wait, is Mercedes just watching all this happen with folded arms? Not at all. Boss Toto Wolff is furious. Let's see what he has to say about this whole mess. The man behind the curtains, the guy feeling the heat. He looked at this whole situation and bluntly said it was a total underperformance from everyone. Ouch. It's like he gave the entire team a collective scolding. But wait, there's more. Regarding Russell's Q1 fiasco, Wolff said this: 70% of the blame is on the team. 70%, folks. It's like he grabbed a megaphone and shouted, "Guys, we messed up big time here." And it doesn't stop there. Toto is determined. He emphasized that the team needs to learn from these mistakes to avoid repeating them in the future. It's like that stern talk from a parent, you know? This time we'll let it slide, but next time... The craziest part is that even with all this tough talk, you can feel that Wolff isn't throwing in the towel. He's trying to light a fire under the team to get them moving. Now, the burning question: will Toto's scolding be the wake-up call Mercedes needs to get back on track? Because, my friends, Mercedes' future is as uncertain as the weather forecast. And we haven't even talked about who will take Hamilton's place in 2025. Get ready, because this story promises even more twists and turns. And speaking of the future, folks, let's take a peek at what's coming, because things are getting intense. Just imagine, while we're here, glued to this roller coaster of emotions with Mercedes, the team's backstage is on fire. The big question that's making everyone nervous is, who on earth is going to replace Hamilton in 2025? And the rumors, my friends, are hotter than Bahrain's summer asphalt. On one side, we have the young prodigy Andrea Kimi Antonelli, a kid said to be the most talented of his generation. On the other, none other than Carlos Sainz, the Spaniard who has already shown he can tame a prancing horse from Maranello. But hold on, Toto Wolff is playing it mysterious. He said this: the decision will be based on data. Data, folks. It's like he's turned the choice of Mercedes' next driver into an episode of CSI. And the worst part, he mentioned there's no rush to make this decision. So, we're going to be here, biting our nails, speculating. Meanwhile, Mercedes is in a more delicate situation than a tightrope walker. They need to improve the current car, keep Hamilton motivated, and decide the future. That's a lot for one team. The burning question is, can Mercedes pull through this crisis and return to their glory days? Or are we witnessing the beginning of the end of an era? Guys, what a wild ride that was, huh? We started with Russell out in Q1, saw Hamilton taming a car wilder than a rodeo bull, watched Toto Wolff almost breathing fire, and now everyone's eyes are on Mercedes' future like it's the championship final. But you know what? This is exactly why we love Formula One so much, especially Lewis Hamilton. He's like that action movie hero who, no matter how many explosions happen around him, always finds a way to come out in style with a smile on his face. Think about it. Even with all these difficulties, Hamilton is still there, aiming for the podium like it's the most natural thing in the world. This kind of attitude is what makes him a 7-time champion, folks. And Mercedes? Well, they might be going through a phase more complicated than solving a Rubik's Cube blindfolded, but don't forget, this is the team that dominated F1 for years. They have more tricks up their sleeve than a magician in Las Vegas. In the end, what we're seeing here is a real-time story of overcoming obstacles. It's the kind of thing that makes us cheer even harder, glued to the TV every race, waiting to see that magical moment when everything falls into place and the impossible happens. So, folks, let's keep cheering, shouting, and celebrating every lap. Because if there's one thing we've learned from Hamilton and Mercedes, it's that in the world of F1, the impossible is just a matter of time. So, what do you think? Will Mercedes turn things around? Will Hamilton surprise everyone again? Leave your thoughts in the comments, share this video with your fellow F1 fans, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any details of this unpredictable season. See you next time, everyone, and remember, as long as the lights are on, anything can happen.